893 AD, Earth, the western coast of Iceland.
The frost giant had terrorized these people for weeks. It had eaten 3 goats, 4 dogs, and 2 children. The mothers in the village prayed for help from the gods, and help they did receive. I led a group of 20 men, tracking the giant to its den in the highlands. It battled us for hours, swinging trees and hurling boulders. Many Vikings found their way to Valhalla, until my axe hacked its guts to bloody slush and lopped off its head. That was 4 days ago. Since then, I have eaten more goats than the frost giant, drank enough mead to drown a dozen sailors, and made love to half the women in the village. I am Thor Odinson, god of thunder, prince of Asgard, heir to the throne of the realm eternal. I love my life. A cry in the night. Please let it be another giant.
Ah! There's someone in the water! A devil man! I saw his face! The girl speaks the truth. There's someone there, all right. Or at least what's left of them. Red chunks have been washing up for hours now, all along the shore.
Poor bastard must have fallen off a ship and been torn apart on the rocks. Is he from our village? Hell, it could be my father for all I know. There's not enough left in the fool to tell much of anything. Not so. I can tell you one thing for certain. He was not from our village. I have heard tell of feathered men such as this. From Norsemen who claim to have sailed on across the sea towards the edge of the world.
You are half right, Olfar Sonthorn. Our visitor is indeed from across the water, but I do not believe he is a man at all. Lord Thor, pray tell, what do you see when you look into those eyes?
He was a god.
A god? Odin's beard. But what could have done this to a god? Even a heathen one from across the sea. It must have been a sea serpent. Only thing it could have been. Look at that flesh. There's not a bite on him. He wasn't eaten. He was butchered. What in all the 9 worlds can butcher a god?
Whatever it was, I guarantee you its skull is no match for Asgardian steel. Come now, Norsemen. Why stand we here with the dead, when you have a longhouse filled with cold mead and warm women? Thor, for one, has yet to drink his fill of either. Boy, fetch some wood. Enough to build a funeral pyre.
A butchered god. Tell me, my lord, have you ever seen anything such as this?
I've seen war in the heavens. I've seen gods suffer and bleed. I've seen immortal fathers subject their own sons to torments you could never imagine. I've seen hell itself. But no. I've never seen anything like the horror in this god's eyes. To what gods do you pray, old woman?
All of them.
The present day, deep space, the planet Indigar.
I've never prayed before, so I'm not exactly sure how to do this. But here goes. Dear Thor, my people need your help. It hasn't rained on my planet for many years. Everything here has died. Soon, we will die too. Everyone throughout the spaceways says you're the greatest god who's ever lived and that you can do anything. Please, Thor. Save us.
I hear the prayer from a universe away. Across the cosmos, I bring with me the storm. I crack the ground till water gushes forth. I carve rivers where once was desert. I am Thor, warrior of Asgard, avenger of Earth. And I swear by all that is holy, no one will die here today.
You came! I never dreamed you actually would!
I heard your prayer, little one. And what kind of god would I be if I did not answer prayers? Now, if you'll excuse me, there is always someone somewhere in need of smiting with a very large hammer. And Thor is always happy to oblige.
Please, stay. We haven't much, but what we have is yours. Our cooks do wondrous things with rockworm and scab bark, and we brew the finest cave slime ale in all the system.
I'm sorry, but I simply must... Did you say ale? So there I was, riding a chariot pulled by flying goats, with 300 angry storm giants in pursuit, and me laughing all the while. When at last I crossed the Rainbow Bridge, and beheld the most beautiful sight in all the 9 realms. Asgard, golden city of the gods, where All-Father Odin and noble Queen Freya together ruled the heavens, surrounded by an army of the bravest warriors to have ever hefted a sword.
Are there dragons there too?
Dragons? Yeah, sometimes. Plus elves and dwarves and the occasional troll or two, but mostly just gods. The finest gods who've ever lived. More gods than there are stars in the sky. Sleep soundly, young one. May the eyes of Asgard be ever upon you.
We owe you our lives, Lord Thor.
You owe the girl. It was her prayer that brought me here. But tell me, Elder, why did she not pray to her own gods?
Her own gods? I don't understand. Here on Indigar, we have no gods.
No gods? In all my travels, I've never known a world without gods.
When I was a child, my mother told me stories of gods from long ago, who lived in a jeweled city high in the clouds. But those were just stories for children, like the ones you told about your dragons and magic rainbows.
There was a time that I might have killed you for an insult such as that, old man. I saved your world, and you dare doubt me.
I meant no offense, my lord. I just thought... Do you mean to tell me there really are rainbow bridges and flying goats, and that your father truly does sit on the throne of heaven? My lord?
Let us speak no more of my father. Tell the girl, when Thor finds her wayward gods, he will see that they come home. A world without gods. With such a myriad of pantheons spread across the cosmos, I never dreamed such a thing possible. As it turns out, it is not. Indeed, there was a time this world had gods. So what then has become of them? Ho! Sky Lords of Indigar! A fellow immortal comes in peace. Show yourselves! Nothing. Nothing in the air, but echoes and dust. I find a treasure room filled with mountains of gold, untouched for many years. And an arsenal, still stocked with all manner of weapons, swords rusting in their scabbards. But no gods. In their library are countless scrolls, filled with tales of the ruthless and powerful warriors who once called this sky castle home. Yet I find no sign of war or disaster. No trace of anything living or dead. No clue at all what became of them. A mystery for another day, I suppose. I am ready to leave this city to its ghosts, when I happen to notice one last building. A storage house by the looks of it. I don't even consider it worth checking. Until I notice the chains. No other door in this city bore chains. I realize why this one does, as soon as the smell hits me. Hogscar the Harsh, Crawskin the Cruel, Lady Vile, the Goddess of Atrocities, Lord Allblood the Inexorable, and his 13 sons by 13 brides. I recognize them all from the stories in the scrolls. These are the missing gods of Indigar. Thus is one mystery solved, as another is born. An entire pantheon of fearsome immortals. Every man, woman, and child. All butchered like animals in their own fortress. Without any signs of invasion or warfare. Without a sign of combat of any kind. No. To even call this butchery is an insult to honest butchers. This was something else entirely. God's flesh rots slowly. By my guess, they've been here a few hundred years, undisturbed until now. No army did this. No giants either. No stench of sorcery in the air. This was no ritual, no one-time explosion of madness. Flesh wasn't eaten, so neither was it a mindless beast. There was nothing mindless about this. Their deaths were skillfully prolonged, their suffering relished. This was the work of one hand, one that was steady and accomplished, and extremely well-versed in its art. There's a variety of wounds, the work of many different weapons, but no sign of a single one. Meaning the killer carries them with him, like a carpenter with his toolbox. This was far from the first time he'd killed, and unless he stopped, far from the last. The face of a god, frozen forever in agony and terror. I haven't seen anything like this since... Oh, hell. It attacks like an animal. No skill, only fury. This is not my killer. This is his guard dog. His very strong guard dog. I remember a day, a millennium ago. A dead god floating in the sea. And later, a winged horse drenched in blood. A cave of horrors. I know who did this. If Gore the God Butcher yet lives, it can only mean one thing. More gods are sure to die.
Many millennia from now, the Great Hall of Asgard.
A quiet, That's what I hate the most. The wretched, unending quiet of this place. This hall used to be filled with the noise of battle, of feasting. Now there's just the shuffle of those things out there, mocking me with their blackened silence. And the soft, labored breathing of a tired, old god. Damn this quiet. If I'm to die, it will be with a weapon in my hand and a roar in my throat. Bring me my arm! No answer. I'm so damn old. I keep forgetting there's no one left. No one left but me. I am Thor Odinson, king of a broken Asgard, last of all the gods. And today, I will try yet again to see Valhalla. I vaguely remember how this started, so long ago, with a dead god floating in the sea. And later, a little girl's prayer on a world without gods. Some gods! There is still one god left in Asgard! And he would have words with thee! And now this is how it ends. With blood and thunder. With hammer and sword. With one last stand at the gates of heaven. The Odin sword is drawn! The end of all things is nigh! Death to the butcher of gods and his black berserkers! Death to the enemies of Asgard! Whatever happens now, whatever my fate, know that I face it like a god.
Many years ago, the great weapons hall of Asgard.
Forged by dwarves from mystic Uru metal, in fires that would melt the sun. Laden with enchantments by the All-Father himself. Able to shatter whole planets as easily as pebbles. It is the most powerful weapon in all the 9 realms. But only the worthy may lift it. I have wrestled dragons with my bare hands, slain wolves the size of longboats. I have fought in more battles than most gods twice my age. So tell me, how much more worthy must I be? Move, you blasted chunk of metal! By the bristling beard of Odin, you are one stubborn hammer! Someday, Mjolnir, someday, you will be mine. And on that blessed morn, when I finally bestride the heavens, hammer in hand, woe be unto the enemies of Thor. Faster, you dogs! There'll be nothing left worth pillaging by the time we get there!
893 AD, the Baltic Sea.
You heard your god of thunder? Are you not Norsemen? Then why do you row like land-loving Saxons? Row like Vikings or be damned! The lot of you! Row for death and glory! Row for Thor! My lord, the fog grows thicker. Perhaps we should slow our pace, or else risk running aground.
I have sailed through tempests of fire in the burning land of Muspelheim, and endless hurricanes of ice in frozen Niflheim. No mere fog of Midgard will slow the son of Odin. Calm your fears, man of the North. You have the eyes of a god to guide you.
There's something in the mist! A figure, walking upon the water as if it was dry land! Stop your blubbering nonsense, you drunken fool! Sit down and get back to— I saw its face! It was not the face of a man!
Enough! Cease your chattering! You are not children to be spooked by mermaids! You are Vikings! You are the ones feared along every coast of Midgard! Now back to your rowing, or you will have my axe Jarnbjorn to answer to! Tell them to go slower, until the fog passes.
Yes, my lord, but you said—
I know what I said. Just do it.
I smell god flesh. Lead away, little godling. Lead me to your kin. 3 days later, along the banks of the Neva River, in what will someday be called Russia.
We can wait no longer! My men hunger for death and plunder! Let the battle begin!
No! I did not cross an ocean merely to face a bunch of Slavs with spears. Thor was told there would be gods here. Rivermen! Where are the gods you swore would protect you? Call them down, and pray that they give Thor a decent fight!
Our gods will be here soon enough, Norse swine. And they will still that wagging tongue of yours. When Perun the Stormlord and Chernobog the Black come flying in on their great winged stallions, golden axes in hand, thunderbolts flying, you will sing a different— Here they come! Lord Perun! Wait, I don't see— Lord Perun! Is it him? Is it your god of thunder? Behold the bloody horse of doom! Defender of the Slavs! That is Perun's steed, but where is our great god? Lord Thor, it would appear their gods haven't the nerve to face you. Might we have your leave to—
Do as you wish. Just save a cask of ale for me. The clouds drip blood. God blood. Immortals have died in these skies today. And it would appear the reign of death has just begun. Chernobog the Black, I presume. A bloody riderless horse and a headless god. Someone has ruined my fun for the day. The gods of the Slavs could have done this to themselves, I suppose. Fought each other over Odin knows what. I once saw two gods slay one another in an argument over the day of the week. But that would not explain the nagging feeling in the back of my skull. The one I have had since seeing the dead god's face in the waters of Iceland. I imagine it's the same feeling the boar gets when the great horn sounds and the warriors rush into the trees. The moment right before the spears go flying. When the beast first realizes it's being hunted.
Feel that, little Lord of Heaven? That sense of helplessness as you fall? That is how it feels to be mortal. Next, you will learn how it feels to be butchered. A fighter. I do so love the fighters. You'd be surprised how many gods die like frightened children.
The name is Thor, Cloudstalker. Of Asgard, a warrior born, and the last god you will ever see.
Asgardian, hey? I believe you will be my first of those. But fret not over being lonely. Your entire pantheon will join you by the time I am through.
As I gaze into the face of this killer of gods, I cannot help but be reminded of a time many years ago. Of another set of cold, black eyes. A mad god in a pit. Of the day I learned the difference between war and murder. I was just a boy when a god named Dagr went on a wanton killing spree, all across the 9 realms. He'd slain hundreds by the time they caught him and tossed him in a pit in Asgard to await his fate. In confusion, I went to Odin. Though I was barely able to walk, I had already seen my father slay thousands, invading trolls, warring giants, whole armies. He would come home drenched in their blood, and songs would be sung of his greatness. That was war, my father told me. And war was something very different than what Dagr had done. He said even the greatest of warriors never relished the killing stroke. To do so was to lose oneself to bloodlust, to become a monster. But still I was confused. So late one night, I snuck from my bedchamber and crept through the empty halls of Asgard. And I went to see the mad god in the pit. I only wanted to see his face. To see for myself how the eyes of a murderer were different than those of my father. I gazed down into the pit, straining for a view. Next thing I knew, my footing had slipped, and I was tumbling down into darkness. I saw his eyes all right, but they weren't wild like I expected. They were calm and frighteningly serene. I made ready to defend myself, to bite into his face with what few teeth I had. But all he did was talk. In a delicate voice, about what he had done, about who he'd done it to, and why. The why I struggled to understand. But he spoke with such passion, such remarkable conviction, that it seemed more my failing than his. He'd killed children no bigger than me, he said. Babies even. But the god in the pit never laid a hand on me. And yet the way he looked at you so coldly through the darkness made you feel almost as if you were already dead. I was in the pit for 5 hours before anyone found me. The next day, the murderous god died beneath Odin's blade. He never begged for mercy, never for a second showed a bit of remorse. His severed head was still smiling, still full of pride for what he'd managed to accomplish. Odin and the others dismissed him as mad. But only I knew the truth. That what he truly was something far more frightening.
You're used to fighting things that shiver before you and gawk in awe at your greatness, aren't you, God of Asgard? Not someone who dares meet your divine gaze, let alone glare back. With complete and utter contempt for all that you are.
I am used to fighting warriors, and you are most certainly not that, Butcher of Gods! I have seen your like before!
No, I don't believe you have.
I didn't sleep for weeks after my time in the pit. I was haunted by that voice, by those eyes. Every night for months I would pray to the elder gods that I might never again have to gaze upon such a visage. Now it seems that, as with most prayers in life, mine have gone most profoundly unheard.
I cannot help but wonder, little god, to the poor damned fools below us who worship you. What are you the god of? Axes? Drunkenness? Vanity? Or war, perhaps? I have killed so very many gods of war. And gods of fear, gods of chaos, gods of blood and wrath, and jealousy and lies. Of plagues and earthquakes, genocide and revenge, of degradation, of death. Very few gods of poetry and flowers, though. I killed those just the same. Tell me now, Prince of Asgard, before all you're able to do is whimper and scream. What was Thor the god of before he died?
Thunder.
The present day. Deep space.
It takes hours. But the servant of the God Butcher finally falls.
A world of dead gods.
To make constructs such as this, his power must have grown considerably in the time since we last fought. But I expect he will still be easy enough to find. I will simply follow the trail of dead gods. I knew you not, gods of Indigar. But nevertheless, you will be avenged. So swears Thor of Asgard. I will finish what I started long ago. No matter the Butcher's power, no matter where he runs, no matter how long it takes. Fly, Mjolnir, to Omnipotent City, to the halls of the All-Knowing. Fly with all the speed you can muster, for the longer we tarry, the more gods who will suffer. It was built 12 billion years ago, after the first great war of the gods. From the rubble of the Rock of Creation, and embers from the fire that lit the first stars. It was built by the Lords of the Dawn, by the first of the Elder Gods, as a place of divine fellowship, a place where immortals from all corners of reality would forever be welcome. Here, eternal treaties are signed, sacred covenants sworn that save the lives of millions. Here, gods are married and tried. Here, worlds are born and bartered. Here is the home of the Parliament of Pantheons and the High Holy Court, the Genesis Bazaars, and the Halls of All-Knowing, the moon-sized jewels of the Universal Crown. Here, in the center of infinity, is the Heaven of Heavens, a sight no mortal eyes will ever see. Here is Omnipotence City, nexus of all the gods. Here have I come, seeking answers.
Thor of Asgard. I must say, I never expected to see you here again. You were just a boy on your last visit to the Halls of All-Knowing, brought here by your father to study the old gods, along with that equally charming brother of yours. I must say, you never struck me as someone with a great deal of reading in his future.
My Lord Librarian.
Though you did strike me in other ways. Several times about the legs and hindquarters, from what I remember.
My lord, I do apologize for the folly of my youth. But please, I come now seeking knowledge.
Knowledge? Oh my, how exciting. And what knowledge do we hold in these dusty old halls that could possibly be of interest to the great Thor of Asgard? We have no Hall of Blunt Instruments, I'm afraid. Nor Hall of Thunder, unless you count the lavatory when there are troll gods about. Perhaps the Hall of War. There are several mentions of your father there, after all. Though most are not exactly of the flattering variety.
I seek the names of gods who haven't been seen in years, who simply disappeared.
Ah, well, in that case, it is my great pleasure to welcome you, Prince of Asgard, to the Hall of the Lost.
The Hall of the Lost? Do you mean to tell me each of these books and scrolls represents a god who is missing?
Gods who are inactive, yes. Who's to say if they've actually been missed or not?
This is unbelievable. Why hasn't anyone been alarmed by this?
Gods come and go, son of Odin. Such is the way of things. And one group never much cares what has become of the other. Why, someday even the great Thor himself may be forgotten. Let us hope so, at least.
These gods did not simply fade away. They were murdered.
If it's the Hall of Murder you're looking for, it's down the other way. You'll love it. There's an entire wing devoted to your family.
I have to see the Parliament. I have to warn the Pantheons.
Well, best submit your request right away. Last I heard, there was a 200-year waiting list to see the Parliament. And before you ask, no, you may not wait here.
So many. I don't know where to start. Could all of these gods really have been murdered by one man? I suppose there's only one way to find out. The Oaken King and Sequoia Queen of Glenglavenglade, the Garden Eternal. Gods of the cosmic seasons, lords of a forested heaven. No one has seen them for 2,000 years. I find them in the embrace of the forest they loved. I find them nailed to their trees. And that isn't all I find. The war fairies of Windigorge, the 9 guardians of the Hornworld. It's said they lived in a palace with caramelized walls, in a valley where the skies rained milk and the trees oozed honey. They were last seen 1,200 years ago. These days, the trees are strung with gore, and the air is black with flies. And when it rains, only maggots fall from the sky. I don't have time to bury or burn them. Not while he's still out there. No time to do anything but follow his bloody trail. The choral immortals of Cataract, the walkers of the Outer Void, the last of the Lava Colossi, Vord Bloodeye, the Badun god of beheadings, Zorkiri, the Skrull goddess of love, Yog-Sothoth, the unseeable, bearer of the Elder Hell. All gods who have been missing for 500 years. All missing no longer. I find god after god dead and rotting. Some alone. Some in piles so large I can see them from space. Each book from the Hall of the Lost leads me to more carnage. More eyeless attack dogs. But no God Butcher. There's no pattern to his spree. For 2,000 years he has simply crisscrossed creation, killing anything immortal he finds. What does it say about the gods in this universe that no one has ever noticed or cared? What does it say about me? I knew this god. Thanagar, the Behemoth, a patron god of the galactic frontier. Champion of the Tournament of Immortals for 5 centuries straight. They say he wrestled black holes just for fun. I last saw him barely 100 years ago. We passed one another in the spaceways and waved. He's been dead for 5 years, say his mourners. The worshippers who come every day to kneel in his offal and pray for resurrection. Yet nothing stirs within this giant, rotting husk. Nothing truly alive, at least. This is my fault. This god and all the others died because of my foolishness. But no more. So swears the god of thunder. No more! Yes! Keep coming, you mindless beast! Let us send a message to your master! Wherever you are, in whatever distant shadow you cower and hide, I hope you feel this, Butcher of Gods! I hope these things are a part of you, and that you feel every second of me beating them to a blackened pulp. I hope you feel it and know deep down in your wretched yellow bones that your end is near. God, Butcher! Can you hear me? How many more of your dogs must I dismember before you come out and face me, you coward? You want to kill gods? Well, here stands the God of Thunder! Come and kill me, you worm! Come kill Thor, if you dare! God, Butcher! I scream until my throat is raw, until they hear the rumble of thunder from worlds away. The hammer hangs heavy in my hand, but I cannot stop. I will not stop. Not until I find him. Not until my hands are about his throat and I can look into his eyes and see for myself his regret over ever having left me alive. Where is he? Where's the God Butcher? Did I kill him?
I'm sorry, my lord, but we found only you, lying in the snow, not far from where we routed the Slavs. Your wounds were... anyone but the God of Thunder would have died 1,000 times over. You've been asleep for 7 days. We dared not move you far from where you fell. Not that we could have even if we'd wanted to. It took 4 of us just to lift your axe. We've prayed every night for your father's aid and guidance. But as of yet, the All-Father hasn't seen fit to hear us.
Bring me meat. And mead. And then my axe.
Whoever dared attack you knows not what manner of god they trifle with, do they, my lord? I cannot wait to see you call down the rage of your father and all your wondrous friends upon them. The armies of Asgard will march this day!
893 AD, along the banks of the Neva River, in what will someday be called Russia. Hours later.
Are you the Norse gods called Thor?
Who asks?
I am... I was, Hinken, Siberian god of the hunt. The Black Butcher. He said to tell you he waits for you in his cave, along the lake. Just follow the screams. You should not have come alone.
I don't believe you're in much of a position to offer advice in matters of combat. Ingon, god of the hunt.
True. So true. He came at me out of the darkness. The shadows themselves were alive around him. If I had not been so drunk, perhaps.
There is no honor in the way the god butcher fights. Nor will I grant him honor in his death. You have the word of Thor on that.
Please, Thor. Before you go.
Yes, of course. Be at peace now, Hinken. The hunt for you has ended. While for Thor, it has just begun.
The present day, the shores of Lake Lagoda, Russia.
My satellites are triangulating, based on the rough coordinates you gave me. Should have something for you soon. This isn't another Viking strip club, is it? Because I had to burn a whole suit of armor after that last one.
We're close. This is starting to look familiar.
Yeah, I'm scanning the geology. Looks like our target should be somewhere over... there. Is that the cave?
That is it.
Seems pretty quiet. You sure this is the place you're looking for? A lot of caves around these parts. When were you last here?
1,000 years ago. Give or take a few.
Ah, right. This is that sort of business.
I thank you for your help, Stark. But from here, I must go on alone.
I know it's probably none of my business, but when have I ever let that stop me before? I have to tell you, big guy, the look in your eyes right now is really freaking me out. I've never seen you this unnerved before. What the hell happened to you in that cave? You sure you don't need the Avengers with you on this one?
Stark.
Right. Got business, I got it. It's okay. Got plenty of boring old mortal problems to deal with. I'll be on the moon, if you need me.
Stark, wait. All those years ago, I came to this place alone, out of stubborn pride. And I never told another living soul what happened to me here. Now gods are dying because of my silence. Because of my foolishness. I cannot make that same mistake again. You are as much a god as any immortal I have ever known, Tony Stark. Please. I could use your help. I tell Iron Man what I know, and send him to Olympus to begin warning the gods of Earth. My search for the God Butcher has led me nowhere. No clues where he might be hiding. No idea where he might strike next. So, with nowhere else to turn, I am here. A place I had hoped never to see again. I am a young god, as my father always likes to remind me. But compared to my mortal friends, I have lived a very long time. There are thousands of years' worth of memories rattling around inside my head. Even in the mind of a god, there isn't room for everything. Memories evaporate over time. Such is the price of being immortal. Of much of my distant past, I can recall only fragments and glimpses. Some moments are gone completely. I've forgotten the face of the first maiden I kissed, of the first troll I felled, or dragon I tamed. I've forgotten the first star I walked upon, and the sight of my father smiling. For a god, the lives of mortals seem to pass by in the blink of an eye, which leaves much of my early time on Midgard an irreparable haze. There are mortal women I know I've loved, and men I've stood by in battle, who I'm ashamed to say I can no longer recall. But this cave, I will remember till the end of time. This is where the God Butcher taught me fear. All-Mother? All-Mother, can you hear me? Damn these summoning stones. Queen Freya! The God of Thunder would have words with thee! This is where he showed me the true depths of his horror.
Thor? Thor, my boy, is that you? You'll have to speak up. The Congress is meeting, and you know how dwarves get when they're angry.
My queen, Asgardia and everyone in it is in danger. This is where I nearly died at his hands.
What are you talking about? Have you gotten into trouble again? Please don't tell me your brother's involved.
Queen Freya, listen to me. You have to call every Asgardian home and lock the gates behind them. Anyone of immortal blood is under threat.
Thor, what's happened? Under threat by who? Thor!
This is where I thought I killed him. God Butcher! Come out of your hole and let's finish what we started!
You came alone. I knew you would. Gods are nothing if not predictable, especially when it comes to arrogance. After our last encounter, you should have realized how lucky you were to survive and fled to the other end of the cosmos. Not that it would have saved you in the end, but perhaps by the time I found you again, I would have forgotten how you hurt me and given you a quick death.
And you dare to call me arrogant? No!
No, there will be nothing quick about the way you die, God of Thunder. Instead, your suffering will seem as if it lasts until the very end of time.
No! I will not fall again! Not to you! No matter how many of your black berserkers you send to sully Asgard! You hear me, God Butcher? Thor will not fall! Thor will never! God Butcher! No more running! Time to finish!
Wait! Please don't hurt me! I'm not him! I'm not Gore!
Who are you? And why are you in this cave?
Hiding from him! Hiding in the last place he would ever look. Don't you remember? Don't you know what this place is? Everything he's doing now, it's all because of this cave and what you did to him here. It's all because of you, Thor. Gods are dying right now because of you!
Screaming, yes. There will be much more of that before you die. All gods will scream by the time I am through. Down to the very last one.
Asgard, thousands of years from now.
As darkness comes over me, all pain fades. I feel myself floating. Floating through Asgard. past the broken shards of the Rainbow Bridge, past the statues of the fallen, past the crypt where I buried my mother and father, my wives, and all of my children. I feel myself floating on, but I am not dismayed. I go with a glad heart. I go to be with my family. At long last, I go to hell. There will be no grand funeral for me in Asgard. No songs sung of my passing, no monuments erected. This ruined hunk of rock that was once the realm eternal, this will be my tombstone and the testament to my failure. Asgard deserved better. It deserved a better king. I was always more suited to swinging a hammer than I was to wearing a crown. Ultimately, I wasn't fit to hold either. I lived far too long. That was my greatest mistake. Long enough to see everyone I ever cared for die. Long enough to see the true end of all things. There are no more Ragnaroks here at the end of time. No epic battles, no hope of resurrection or rebirth. There is only one sad old god, withering away in shame and silence. Relieved that it is finally over. I know the feel of this seat. I know it all too well. This isn't the afterworld. No. This isn't. Wait. Come back. Come back here, you wretched dogs! The God Butcher. He won't even give me that one small victory, will he? Come back here and kill me! He won't even let me die.
Earth, now.
Who are you?
I'm the sort of god you don't meet every day. A god who has looked upon the face of Gorr and lived. Like you. Yes, the mighty Thor. Yes, the mighty Thor. Oh, how I've heard him talk about you. I was called Shadrach, of the diamond moons of Ogogo. I was the god of wine and waterfalls until he came. Until the God Butcher. I don't know why he kept me alive. Why he made me watch as his black berserkers slaughtered the rest of my pantheon. It seemed to amuse him. The more I screamed. Every day, I begged him to kill me next. But instead, he cut off all my eyelids. So I had no choice but to see. He truly is an artist, you know. I mean that. The things he could do with that weapon of his. The things that he showed me. Gods are such beautiful creatures. Never been more sure of that. Because I've seen what they look like on the inside. I'm not certain. I think I may have gone mad at some point. I escaped while he was murdering Gennaro, a god I had known since childhood. He was the god of friendship. I knew this cave was the one place Gaul would never set foot in again. The way he always described it, it was like it was sacred to him. He says he owes you a great debt for what you taught him here. That's why he's saving you for last.
Where is the God Butcher now? How do I find him?
There's no need to go looking for him. He will find us all soon enough. His rage will never die. It's the weapon that keeps him alive. It's a part of him now, thanks to you. You will see. Once he comes, you will see how pretty your friends are without their skins.
Tell me anything you know about where he's headed, or who he's after. And I promise you, I will keep you safe.
I don't know anything, do I? Only things I heard being screamed. The secrets are cut out of others. Chronux. There was Chronux, of course. No. Oh, no. No. Well, we should not talk of those things. Oh, not even here.
Chronux. I don't know this word. What is it? Is it a god?
Just leave me be. Just let me hide here until the end of time. I quite like eating bugs and sleeping in mud. Better than I do being butchered.
Just come with me, Shadrach. And I swear to you, the God Butcher will never touch you again. Come with me. And we can end this, once and for all.
Omnipotent city, nexus of all the gods.
Librarian! Lord High Librarian! We seek your aid!
I've changed my mind. I'd like to go back to the cave now.
You are safe here. These are the halls of the All-Knowing. If there is a god called Chronux anywhere in the universe, here we will track him down. Librarian! Where the devil is that bitter old... Lord Librarian!
No. Oh no. If only I could close my eyes.
For 93 AD, the cave of the God Butcher.
Wake up, God of Thunder. Now is not the time for sleep. Now is the time for suffering. And for talk.
Take these chains off me, and I'll show you suffering, you snake-faced coward!
That is not the sort of talk I had in mind. You will tell me all you know about the many gods of this world, including your family, and every last one of your friends. You will tell me where to find them in Asgard, was it? Then you will tell me what you see as you watch me kill them.
Wrap me in as many chains as you like, Butcher. All I'm ever going to tell you is to go to hell.
I am not exactly a novice in the ways of torture. You understand? I once tortured a god of torture. After an evening alone with me, he told me where his own children were hiding.
I will kill you!
Fight all you like. These bonds have held 1,000 gods before you. Some the size of mountains. They all start out so full of confidence and rage. So convinced of their own blessed immortality, until I show them what they really are, what their mothers are, their lovers, their infants. Your meat, just like the rest of us, little god. Meat and bones and blood and innards. I will show you your true face, Thor of Asgard, by peeling away this mask of flesh you wear.
And I will chew out your eyeballs with my teeth! You bleating!
I so rarely get to take my time anymore. There are so many gods in need of my attention after all. There was an immortal on a world long ago who dared ask me if I was a god myself. Now with him, I indeed took my time. All gods have their breaking points. It took me 9 days to find his, and his flesh was made of stone. I'm hopeful that you can keep me entertained for at least half as long.
No, please! I'm not going back to Gore. He can't make me watch anymore! Yeah! Lovely friends you've brought with you, God of Thunder!
They're black berserkers, and they're after something. Trying to hide something from... Kronox! Lord Librarian, where are the books on a god called Kronox?
Kronox isn't a god, you imbecile, it's a world! A hidden one! And the only book that can tell you where to find it is over there, burning! Thor!
I will not sit on that blasted throne a second longer. If I cannot walk to my death like a god of the Vikings, I will crawl to it like a wounded dog. Come, Mjolnir, old friend. Show me there's still some magic left in these dead halls. For Asgard.
Damn useless enchantments! Where the devil are those water pixies? I don't suppose you're a god of sprinklers, are you?
I am Shadrach, god of songs and somersaults.
Terrific! Try rolling around in that fire to put it out.
Your book burned to ash in my hands, Librarian. But I read all I need. I fly to Kronox, the Palace of Infinity. I fly to claim the head of Gore.
Kronox, the Palace of Infinity.
My berserkers, we're going to need every last drop. Will it be enough?
It will have to be. There's no one left.
Don't be ridiculous. I could always cut off your arms and legs.
It will be enough.
Yes, I thought you might say that. Just know that if I don't return, my black berserkers will tear you apart.
I can't promise you won't be killed once you get to where you're going. You do realize what you'll find, going that far back in time? You do know what waits for you there.
I know more about gods and their history than you do, last god of Kronox, because I know the secrets they scream when they're dying. Enough talk. Show me your magic.
This is monstrous. What you've done to the Pool of Forevers. A few drops of our own sacred blood were all we ever used to travel the time ways, to shepherd the herds of yesterdays and prune the wild fields of tomorrows. We time gods have always been peaceable beings, caretakers of time, nothing more. We never did anyone harm.
In my travels, I have learned that there are two kinds of gods. Those who do no harm, and those who do nothing at all. I have yet to decide which I find more worthy of my wrath. But soon enough, it will no longer matter, as all gods will have one very important trait in common. They will all be dead.
What are you waiting for, you idiot beasts? You've won. You hear me, Gorr? You've won! Thor is beaten! Finish it already! I'm too old. Too tired. I can't fight you anymore. I can't. Where is the Butcher of Gods?
Present day, Kronox, the Palace of Infinity.
Where I come from, we knew nothing of the world beyond what we could see with our own eyes, and even much of that we could not comprehend. I was raised to believe that stars were the eyes of our ancestors, of the ones who'd pleased the gods and proved worthy of the soothing embrace of the night. The damned suffered forever in the sun. So the more who died unworthy, we were told, the hotter our world would burn. That's how we were taught to honor our gods. Through fear. But where were those gods whenever we needed them? I always asked. Where were the gods when I needed them the most? They were where they always are. All throughout the universe. They were nowhere to be found.
$14 billion years ago. The Void.
I was taught that the universe was born from the tears of the first god. When he beheld the emptiness around him, and his heart was filled with loneliness, the tears became oceans, which became ice, which became worlds. And the lonesome god planted the seeds of all life as we know it. And the first god looked upon his work and smiled. As I stand here now, witnessing with my own eyes the first awkward fumbling of life in the void, I see no lonesome weeping god. No tears except those shed by the misshapen creatures around me. Minutes old, and already begging for death. I see no grand plan at work, no benevolent omnipotence on display. I see only an inbred offspring of the Elder Gods, treating primordial life as his fleshy plaything. But despite the best efforts of the gods, I know that life will still find a way. Worlds will be blasted into being, and creatures will slither from the ooze to evolve and thrive, and ultimately learn to fear and worship the bumbling deities they assume to be their makers. But for this young god, at least, there will be no temples erected. My name is Gore, son of a nameless father, outcast from a forgotten world. I have slain my way through multitudes to stand here at the genesis of all things, blackened with vengeance, wet with holy blood. One simple dream still strong in my heart. The dream of a godless age.
The present day, Kronox, the Palace of Infinity.
Impossible!
Sorry to disappoint you last time, God of Kronox. But Gore yet lives, and he has claimed his prize.
By the stars of all the heavens, is that...
The still warm heart of an elder god, yes. Now all I need is a moon or two, some centuries to myself, and the space in which to build. And slaves. So very many slaves.
Butcher of gods! Prepare to know the wrath of Thor!
893 AD, the Cave of the God Butcher.
Shall I stop now?
Do what you will.
For 17 days you have endured my attentions. That is far longer than even the sturdiest of immortals I have known. Tell me, would any of your fellow Asgardians have endured as much before offering you in their place?
I don't know anymore.
You know only that you wanted to stop. Isn't that right, Thor? And it will, once you've done as I've asked. Once you've shown me the way to Asgard.
Yes. Yes, I wanted to stop.
We'll begin with something easy. Is there anyone in your family you hate? A sibling, perhaps? Maybe even a parent? Just tell me who they are, and I promise to kill them first.
In here! We found him!
Who dares?
Tread on your spears, berserkers! Let fly your raging hands! Rather 1,000 deaths than one retreat! This night we feast in Valhalla! This night we die for Thor!
Gore! Havoc! Get thee, coward! No more hiding behind these empty husks! Mjolnir grows weary of bludgeoning them! Today the blood that flies will be yours! And the tears! And the teeth!
How lovely. I see you've grown up since last we met. And my black berserkers are far from empty husks, God of Thunder. They are part of me. Thanks, in no small measure to you.
Damn your devilry! Fight like a god!
Though they do still have a mind of their own. The ones who attacked you at the halls of all-knowing, for instance. I did not send them, not consciously at least. Though perhaps deep down inside, some part of me wanted you here, Thor. Prince of Asgard. Thor, the god who got away. Wanted you here to bear witness as I begin the next phase of my mission after all. None of this would have been possible without you. Stop this! I am not here to hurt you, men of Earth. I come instead to liberate you and your kind from the yoke of divine servitude.
And we come to liberate that hideous head of yours from its shoulders! Cut him down! Don't worry, Lord Thor. We'll have you free of these chains, or die
Listen to me, you fools. Do not throw your lives away on something as useless as a god. He isn't worth your devotion. None of them are. Just listen to me. Listen and let me tell you of my dream. A dream of
For the love of Odin, someone get a spear in the throat and stop this wretch's mewling.
Very well. Die for your god if you wish. See if he even takes notice.
Your puppets will fall, Gore, and you will answer to the fury of my hammer!
Those Vikings of yours fought like devils that day in the cave. Do you even remember their faces? I do. Of course, I'd seen men willing to die for their gods before, on more worlds than I can count, but never with such wicked glee. For Asgard! Your Vikings taught me two important lessons that day, Thor. One, that mortals' childlike fear of a godless world is far stronger than their fear of death, no matter how painful. And two, no matter how fierce my devotion or how invincible my weapon might make me, no matter how just my cause, I could no longer do my job alone. I walked the cosmos for 2,000 years, killing god after god with these very hands. I tortured them and skinned them and burned them alive and left them rotting in their heavens. I made no proclamations. I issued no threats or demands. I simply killed every immortal tyrant I could find, and then moved on through the shadows. But you brought me out of the darkness, Thor. You showed me a whole new way. For the first time in the history of the cosmos, a god did something useful. Tell me as you die, men of Earth, do you at last see the truth? Where are your gods now? Where are the great lies you wasted your lives worshipping? Where is your savior? Where is Thor? the cave, but instead, you saved me. You saved me from a life of failure. You saved my dream. And for that, I will forever be indebted to you, Thor of Asgard. That is why you die last. Is it done?
I've programmed the pool as you asked. Now, please, you promised you'd let me live.
No. I only promised that unlike the God of Thunder here, you would not have to watch until the end.
No! I swear by the spires of Asgard, no more gods will die!
You're not listening, are you, Thor? All gods will die. From the first until the last, no Almighty gets out alive. I go now to make it so. Building myself an army was just the beginning. With these next steps, I go to explore new horizons of Deicide.
Die! You black-hearted bastard!
No, I refuse to die. I refuse to die while gods yet live. Goodbye, Thor. Please do stay alive a very long time. I would be so terribly disappointed if we did not meet again.
No! You will not escape me again! No universe is big enough to hide you from Thor!
Thousands of years later, Asgard.
Where is the Butcher of Gods? I'll be damned. I wasn't expecting you, boy. Father, what's happened to Asgard? I'm not your father, you beardless whelp. Now get ready with that hammer. Time to show me you're all I remember you to be. Yeah!
He's dead! Thor has slain the God Butcher! All hail the Odin son! By the eyes of Heimdall, what a cut! That axe blow would have felled the world tree itself! Oh, the songs that will be sung of this day! The tales that will be told for generations to come!
No! We will never speak of this day again. Do you hear me? Never! For as long as we shall live. They're dissolving! He's pulling them back! Bless my eye, we may have actually won! The God Butcher! Where is he? I was right behind him. Right behind him? Ha! You're even dumber than I remember, aren't you? You appeared in the exact same spot he did, I'll give you that. But you're a bit late, boy. The God Butcher has been here for 900 years. And he's been busy.
Another Thor. How splendid. One can never have too many of those. And just in time as well. I said I would save you for last, God of Thunder. And that day is imminent. The first day of a new age of freedom. The day all my dreams come true.
3,000 years ago, a planet without a name.
I'm hungry, Mama.
I know, my love. That's why we're here.
But that was our last cave apple. Why can't I just eat it?
We are leaving it here, in this sacred place, as an offering, my son, so that the gods will watch over us and keep us safe.
But if we pay them to watch over us, why didn't the gods take care of Daddy when he got the sun fevers?
Your father lived a long life, almost 30 years. He lived to see his only son grow strong. And we will see him again, my dear, someday when the nights come. He'll be there in the sky, with the rest of the blessed ancients shining down on us.
But why can't I see him now? And why can't we ever see the gods?
You will see them someday all around you, once you truly believe.
I do, Mama. I think I do.
Always honor the gods, my son, and they will shower you with blessings, as they have me. You are my greatest blessing, my darling little boy. My beloved Gore.
Mama!
On your feet, Gore, quickly! Sand tigers, run, Gore! Run and don't look back! And may the gods watch over you, just as they have watched over me.
Years later.
I'm sorry, but it's all I could find. Here, eat.
Don't worry, Gore. The nights will come soon. I know it. The sky gods will hear our prayers at last.
Please, just eat, Ara. You need your strength. The children sleep, though I can still hear their stomachs growling.
This one doesn't sleep. He's going to be a great hunter and explorer, I can tell. Just like his father.
Great hunter. We're starving, Ara. The whole tribe. Our caves are empty of all but saltworms, and what dampness we can lick off the walls. We have to go out, sun be damned. We have to leave the caves if we're going to live.
Shh, my love. The gods will provide, Gore. They always have.
You just have to put your life in their hands, my love. You just have to calm yourself and listen for their voices.
Nora!
What?
Nora!
God, save me!
Months later.
Mama! Where's my mama?
Your mother has been dead for 7 sandstorms, Agar. Rest yourself now. We'll be there soon.
Mama is dead? Just like my sisters with the sun fevers? Like back? I told him, Daddy, I told him not to eat so many stones.
Rest, my son. We're almost there. I can see the forest just ahead, just beyond the next hill.
Is there a waterfall? I think I hear a waterfall.
Yes, there's a waterfall and trees, thick with fruit. More than we could ever eat. Just close your eyes, son. And you'll never be hungry again. Agar, I don't even have enough water in me to cry. I'm sorry, my son. So sorry I brought you into this wretched world.
Gore, you cannot do this.
Leave me be, Ruguk. Let me say goodbye to my last child in peace.
This is not right what you are doing. You cannot hide your son's body in the ground. It is forbidden. The boy must be hung from the trees so that the gods will see him and take him into the sky. You know this, Gore. Do not damn the boy's soul with your sacrilege, leaving him to spend eternity in the dirt, just like a worm. Do not damn him the way his mother was damned.
We are all damned.
What did you say?
Open your eyes, you ignorant bastard. We move from one dried-up cave to another, eating slime off the bottom of rocks, leaving a trail of our dead behind us under a sun that will never set. We are all going to starve and burn. Forget about your made-up damnations. We are already damned, right here, right now.
Be careful of your blasphemies, Gore. The gods hear your every word.
The way they heard my mother's prayers when she was eaten alive right in front of their idol. Or my wife's prayers from an entire life lived in obedience to them. My wife, who was sucked into the ground with our child still in her belly.
Gore, you go too far.
Or the way the gods hear your prayers, all of you, every day, as you pray for food and rain, for the comfort of night, and yet all we ever find is more sun, more suffering. The gods don't hear your prayers because there are no gods. There never were. No gods in the sky. No gods who made us. No gods watching over us. No gods who give a damn. There's only us. And the sooner we accept that, the sooner we can.
Blasphemer! Blasphemer! Stone him before the gods hear his law! Blasphemer! Stone him! He's of the black gods! I knew it! Let's feed him! His crippled leg is a sign!
Let's eat him! Let's eat him!
No! No one touches him! He is unclean, and now he is outcast. May the gods have mercy on your soul, Gore. Though I expect the sun will not.
So tired. Hara. Just want to die. No heaven, no hell, means I can die and never have to think again. Never have to feel. Just blackness. Nothing but blackness forever. Please. That's all I want. Can't even die in peace. What is that? What is? All along. Hello? Can you talk? Help me. Help me. When my wife was screaming for your help, when my mother was being butchered like an animal, where were you when we needed our gods? What? Get off! It fell from the sky many years ago, on a world without a name. I picked it up and butchered my first gods. And then, as I stood there, baptized in their blood, a question formed in my simple little brain. I wonder if there are more.
Many centuries later.
And of course there were. So I set out to find and kill them all. Which brings us to our present situation. Does that answer your question, little god?
No. No, it... I asked if you knew where that weapon of yours came from. But you don't even know the name of the god you stole it from, do you? To you, it's still just a sharp stick for poking things. You're blind to its truth.
You speak like someone who would rather die than be whipped. Tell me, what is your name, ragged wisp of a god?
Volstagg. I was Volstagg the Valiant, Lion of Asgard.
Let me ask you a question, Volstagg the Foolish, Dog of Heaven's dung heap. What do you think gives you the right to steal from me?
It was only a loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread that was not yours. This is not Asgard, Volstagg the Greedy. Here you cannot simply take whatever you desire. Here you eat only what you are given.
For 500 years, spent slaving in your mines, I have eaten nothing but worm droppings and my own scabs. Even the most finicky of gods must eventually give way to hunger.
The sooner you and your brethren finish your work, the sooner your hunger will be sated forever.
And tell me, Gorr, the god slaver, Gorr, the lord of skinflints, when was the last time you hungered? When was the last time you closed your eyes and slept? Can you even remember?
I will sleep when my work is done. When all worlds are free from the tyranny of heavens.
You poor blind fool. You'll never kill all the gods, no matter what weapon you wield. No matter what that thing is you're building out there.
You Asgardians, stubborn to the very end. Don't tell me you're still waiting for your friend with the magic hammer to come and save you.
No. Not even the All-Father can save me now. But even if you kill me, and kill every other god in creation, even the mighty Thor, in the end, there will still be one god left, won't there, Gorr? You.
What did you say?
Look at yourself. Look at what that weapon has done to you. You've been alive for thousands of years, murdering as you please. You've raised worlds and built your own. You've put gods in chains. What are you if not a god yourself? The most foul and despicable god I've ever known. What? No more whipping? Back to eating worm poop in the mines for old Volstagg, I suppose.
Come out now. Don't be afraid. He can't hurt you. Come here. Why are you spying on me?
I'm hungry.
Hungry? My son does not go hungry. Come. We'll have one of the slaves fix whatever you like.
When will all the bad gods be gone, Father?
Soon, son. Very soon. For sleep. Now is the time for suffering. I'm not finished with you yet. Wake
up! Ready for another go-round already, God of Thunder? Thor?
He's not dead.
Who's not dead?
No one. Don't worry your pretty little head.
My pretty little head has been smashing faces and breaking noses since I was old enough to see straight. I'm a shield maiden, not some sheep herder's daughter. Tell me, who are we to murder? You should know I make war like I make love. Naked and in a berserker rage. Thor!
There's no one here. There's no one coming. Trolls take my eyes. I'm acting like a child frightened by his own shadow. 8 days since I killed that god butcher bastard. And I still can't get him out of my head. I wish to dream no more this night. That means you will have to keep me awake until the morn.
That I can do, my lord. For the glory of Asgard.
Iceland, 893 AD.
It was not so much a scream that rang out through the Viking village of Kulkumira as it was a cry of battle. The first of many that would be heard that night. The Night Shadows themselves came out to murder.
Asgard, many millennia from now.
So, you really are me. The older, wiser, and more exquisitely bearded you, yes. What's happened to my eye? And is that an arm of the Destroyer? Are you going to simply gawk at me like some half-witted Hercules? Or may we see to our business? You act as if you've never time-traveled before. Many times. But I've never been waiting for myself once I got there. This is Asgard. What's happened here? Where is everyone? One question at a time, boy. Let's answer the one you asked when you first arrived. Where is the God Butcher? This is Hlidskjalf, the high seat of Odin. No one but the All-Father himself is allowed in here. You are right about that. You, I mean me, we, are the All-Father. I am the All-Father. You are still just, what are you again? An Avenger? Guardian of the Galaxy? the head of that ridiculous little order of yours? Have you moved to the sun and become a cosmic god cop yet? What? No. Oh, then... forget I said anything. Wait. If you truly are me, then shouldn't you remember this happening? Remember coming here and meeting yourself? I can hardly remember how to buckle my own trousers, can I? And this is time travel we're talking about. There are all manner of annoying rules governing this sort of thing. I've always hated time travel. And you always will. What are we looking for? They're gone. Those damn black berserkers. They're really gone. Gone. Where? Gore has called them home, by the looks of it. For the first time in 900 years, the skies around Asgard are empty. The siege is broken. By my beard. We've still got a chance. I go to make myself ready for war. You should do the same, young Thunder God. I'm ready now. Let us leave at once. Gods could be dying while we tarry. We will die if we are not prepared for what we will face. This is no mere Ragnarok come upon us, boy. This is an ending beyond all known endings. This is the apocalypse unparalleled. There is a chamber in the East Wing, just past the statues of the kings. You've never entered, have you? No. Odin said it was for all fathers only. Yes, well... now, on the eve of your extinction, you will find all that you need inside. Make yourself ready, and meet me at the docks. This cannot be right. Perhaps this is one of those alternate futures that the X-Men are always going on about. Surely I do not grow up to become... my father. What could I possibly need to make myself ready? I am ready now! Ready to pound the Butcher of Gods into the dirt once and for... Well... I suppose one drink wouldn't hurt. He sent you, didn't he? The God Butcher! I knew he wasn't dead. Where is the one-armed coward? Thor would cleave whatever's left of it. Speak, you bloodless dogs! Where is your master? Where the... hell?
Oh, at last, my favorite Thor. Welcome to the place where gods go to die.
Thor! This time when I cut you, you will stay dismembered!
Now, where were we when we last met? Before those Viking friends of yours interrupted us in that cave.
Many millennia from now, the black world of Gore.
Ah, yes. I believe that was it.
I am sorry, my sons. Sorry I failed you. I pray for your forgiveness and your strength. If the children yet live, I will find them. So swears the King of Asgard. Thor! Are you ready to spill your blood across the end of time? Are you ready to die as the stars die with you? Are you ready to laugh in the face of the twilight of the gods! Thor is ready. But I still need answers. What has happened to Asgard? Gorr, the God Butcher, happened. 900 years ago, he came here out of time, spewing black berserkers, an endless army of the beasts. We held them at bay for as long as we could. But as our numbers dwindled, his power grew. And ultimately, I was all that was left. He killed them. He killed all of Asgard. He took them, enslaved them. He has his own world. A dead, blackened planet at the edge of space. He's building something there, I don't know what. For all these years, all I could do was watch from afar. He's kept me trapped here, alone, for 9 centuries. Always surrounded by those damned berserkers, unable to break free, unable to die. I thought Asgard would be my prison for eternity. But then, you came. You have renewed my strength, young god of thunder. Seeing myself as I once was, though beardless and dim-witted, nevertheless fills me with vigor. For the first time in centuries, I feel like a god again. I dare say I even feel the rumblings of the Thor force within me once again, which I had long thought forever spent. Thor force? You mean the Odin force? You wield the awesome power of the Odin force? We call it the Thor force now, boy, and have for 10,000 years. I've wielded it far longer than that old man ever did. And now, it is mine once more. This is our chance. Gorr has called his minions home. The fiend dares us to come after him. And so we shall. Hammers in hand. Are you with me, Thor? To the end, Thor. Then give me a drink of that ale, and let us fly. For honor and the realm eternal. For vengeance divine. The last charge of the armies of Asgard! The last ride of the gods of thunder! And so Skithbladnir, most vaunted of the longships of Asgard, sets sail across the cosmic seas. With its cargo of enchanted Uru hammers, the Allfather's ale, and the greatest collection of Thors ever assembled. And yet, it would not be enough.
Take him away. I've had my fun. Now, you get to have yours, young prince. Take our new arrivals to the construction site and put them all to work in the mines. All except Thor. I want him with the builders at the summit. I want him there at the moment all work is finally completed. See that Thor drives in the last nail.
The present, omnipotent city, nexus of all the gods.
Well, don't just stand there wasting my time and breathing my air. Speak! Or can you not even do that correctly, God of the Watch?
The Communications Division has tried contacting the world of Kronox, as you asked, Lord Librarian, but without success. The God Priests of the Word have dispatched dozens of space ravens and comet probes to where they believe Kronox to be hidden, but all have gone unanswered. They suggest in the future you refrain from burning the books you've been entrusted with protecting, especially those containing the only known directions to hidden worlds.
1 billion gods in this city, and I'm the only one who's not a complete waste of divinity. What else, oh useless one?
I've communed with the surveillance spirits. Your library was the only division infiltrated. I suggest you review your own obviously substandard security enchantments.
And what of the Department of Death and Taxes? Did you go to them as I asked?
Their blood auditors have indeed reported the stench of god blood in the corner of the cosmos where Kronox is believed to be. But there is no way to...
And no word from Thor.
The Asgardian. No, none at all.
He's gone. Thor's lost in the Forevers now, just like Gore.
Will that be all, your esteemed librarianship? My godson is creating his first world today. I would very much like to be...
Call the Parliament into session.
What? Can you even do that?
Tell them, if they don't want the pages of their family history ripped from every book known to the heavens, they'll do as I say. You, what is your name again?
Shadrach, god of baubles and ballerinas.
And what do you know of god butchers, Shadrach the Mad?
Nothing. There's no need to know anything. It will all be over soon. All of this, all of us. It's better this way. I shouldn't have helped him, I know, but I knew this way would be better.
Helped him? Helped him how?
No, never mind. I'm merely Shadrach, god of kittens and coconuts. I don't...
Stop lying to me! You're the god of this and the god of that. Who are you, really?
God of pancakes and tambourines?
If you really are a god, then your name and image are somewhere in this library. If you make me dig out the book myself, I will beat you senseless with it. Do you hear me?
It's better this way, I swear. Better than how he was doing it. Tearing us apart, one by one. He made me watch. I only helped him so I wouldn't have to watch anymore. So no one would. He came to me. He made me show him how to build it. Please. It will all be better this way. Believe me.
Start making sense, damn it. Tell me what you're hiding. Tell me who you are.
I am only Shadrach, god of...
That's unholy.
God of bombs.
The far future, the black ocean of deep space.
I grow battle-starved. How much farther to the God Butcher's lair? Still a few billion light years. But we've got a good solar wind at our backs. And ale aplenty. We've no more ale. Hellas pale bosom boy! Go polish thine hammer, and practice growing a beard before I cast thy arse overboard. Or better yet, get thee to sleep. Believe me, once we make landfall in the unholy world of Gore, there will be little time for relaxation.
The unholy world of Gore. City of the god slaves.
That shall be the last time you ever whip an heir of Asgard, you black-eyed wretch. Carry thine own damn rocks.
Mouth of the god bomb.
Come then, you dogs of Gore! This god is no man's slave!
You jackass! What the hell do you think you're doing?
What? Who dares lay hands on?
I dare, pretty boy. Get back to work or I'll break both your arms and have you sent to the mines to clean boots with your tongue, since it seems that's your strongest muscle.
You would have me submit to the will of Gore like a gutless troll? Never. To see such cowardice among my fellow gods fills me with shame for all divinity.
Cowards? Did this idiot boy god just call us cowards? I'm of a mind to reach in through his stupid beardless face and rip out his stones. Maybe he'll be a bit less annoying as a eunuch. But it's such a handsome face. Seems a shame to waste it. Not to mention those stones. Down, girls. You, new god, pick up your pebble and get back in line. I won't tell you again. I'm not going to let you get some poor god killed with your immature pride.
The only ones who die here today are these black-hearted lapdogs
Tone down the braggadocio for 1 second and look around you, dolt. Every time you make a ruckus like this, Gore crucifies another god. If it was just you, no big loss. One less steel-headed godling in the world. But I have friends on those crosses.
Nidhogg's blood. We have to...
What you have to do is shut your mouth and get back to carrying heavy things. Now. Huh. Still think we should have gelded him. There's something awfully familiar about this god.
Tell me, what goddesses are you?
We're not gods anymore, and neither are you. We're slaves now. Get used to it.
And so it was that Thor Odinson of the Viking Age first met Atli, Elisiv, and Frigg, Wodendaughter, the goddesses of thunder, from an eon hence. His own future grandchildren. Damnable bunch of wenches. The gods mined broken moons in silence. Voices that once spoke whilst galaxies obeyed, now reduced to frightened whimpers and feeble weeping. Kings of heaven and hell, who had sat atop opulent thrones, now squatted in muck and their own filth. These were gods in whose image great temples had been erected, in whose names epic wars had been waged for generations. But now, glassy-eyed and hollow, not even they could remember who they were. That will never be me, thought the god of thunder. Never in a million millennia would my spirit break so utterly. But at the same time, he thought it best not to wait too many millennia to find out. What the hell is that thing, then?
A bomb. The bomb that's going to kill all the gods.
No bomb can kill gods, boy. Certainly not all of them.
This bomb will. Gore designed it himself. You'll see soon enough, after 900 years of labor. It's almost finished.
And do you think this is a good thing? The killing of gods?
It will be a better world without gods. No more fear of eternal damnation or lust for eternal reward. No more hatred between believers of rival faiths. Without the lie of eternity to serve as our crutch, we will have no choice but to finally cherish what precious little time we have. And to put faith in only ourselves and one another.
That's what Gore taught you, is it? What is he to you, child?
He is everything. He is my father.
Your father is a butcher and a madman.
Of course you would say that. You're a god. You fear him. But I wonder, how many is your father butchered?
To hell with both our fathers. You should flee this world while you can, son of Gore. You and whatever family you have. Your father's going to die for what he's done. By my own hands, fate's willing.
Never speak ill of my father. He is a great man. And you are but a jealous god.
Open your eyes, boy. He isn't a man at all. Not anymore.
Get back to work, slave, before I have you crucified. Every one of you will be forgotten. Every god ever spawned. All your temples will be dust, your holy books burned to ash. But my father's name will never die. Do you hear me, gods of man? The name of Gore the Redeemer will live forever.
King Gore's snoring shook the rigging. Galaxies passed by in a blur. Thor the Avenger held the great wheel steady and called forth the solar storms and all the interstellar winds he could muster to push the flying dragon ship ever faster through the cosmic currents. Faster than the speed of light, or all known laws of man. Faster than all but the boldest of gods had ever dared. He talked to his hammer as he sailed, chasing the stench of dead gods across the spaceways. He struggled to put doubts from his mind, worries that buried within Gorr's vengeful rants, there was some small ember of truth. A truth that threatened to consume him. Thor sailed on, craving combat with every ounce of his being. Combat, and just a bit more ale. Gorr's god-slaves worked for days on end without pause, without sleep. But every 7th day they were allowed a few moments' rest. And on the 7th day they rested. Tuh. This was Gorr's idea of a joke.
3 more days at the most, and after that, Gorr's bomb will be finished.
And we'll all be dead, along with every other god ever born.
Then we wait no longer. We must take our shot. We need more time to gather weapons, to find the perfect moment.
We cannot be ruled by panic. This will be our only chance.
More time? Most of us have been here for centuries. There is no more time.
The when we can debate. But first we must settle on the who. Who do we trust to lead the way? Who has the strength to carry the burden? Knowing that even if they succeed, they will most assuredly die.
If you're talking about destroying that bomb and killing that bastard Gorr, then look no further. I'm your god.
The eunuch? Who let him in? No offense, friend, but we don't even know who you are.
I am the favorite son of Odin the Omnipotent, heir to the throne of eternal Asgard, the lord of the storm and god of the thunder, him before whom even Vikings bow. They call me Thor.
Thor? Oh, my heavens. I've been having impure thoughts about my grandfather. Gorr has been known to pull gods out of the time stream. But if you're really who you say, then you should have no trouble summoning a thunderstorm to cover our attack.
Bah. He's no Thor. We're the goddesses of thunder.
And even we can't summon storms in this miserable dunghole.
I've tried. But this world is too barren. There are no storms here that answer Thor's call.
Don't feel too bad. Hate, the rain god, can't even make it dew anymore. And Gorr, the wine lord, can only turn water into vinegar. We need more weapons if we're going to cross the Black Plain and reach that bomb. Clubs, sharp stones, whatever we can find.
This bomb, can it really kill all the gods?
Gorr has proven himself to be many things, but a liar isn't one of them.
Then what is your plan?
To destroy the bomb before it's finished.
That thing is the size of a moon. How do you expect to destroy it with a few ragged slaves armed with clubs and sharp stones?
For 900 years, we ragged slaves have mined the cores of dead stars and broken planets, building Gorr's god bomb. This is every scrap of unstable matter we've been able to steal and hide over the years. He's got his bomb, we've got ours. But the question still remains. How do we get close enough to the god bomb to destroy it without being swarmed by black berserkers?
We rush them! Every god who can walk, all at once. It won't work. Gorr's weapon is too strong. His berserkers are everywhere. Then we sneak our bomb as close as we can and detonate it by hand. That's suicide. That's the only way. One god must die for the rest to survive.
Then let's see a show of hands. Which god will volunteer to... Oh, you stupid, stupid Thor!
One last storm. That's all I ask. If today the god of thunder must die screaming, then let the sky scream with me.
Get every god on their feet! The final battle begins now!
Wait! Listen! made it rain fire. I've always wanted to make it rain fire. I'll be damned. He is Thor. Go, Grandad, go.
As he raced toward his death through the rain of fire, young Thor's mind was empty of all but rage. No thought of Asgard, or of the father's love he would never live long enough to earn. No thoughts of the maidens yet to be wooed, the sagas yet to be written. That damn hammer. He would regret not having lifted that damn... Did you feel that? Yes. There was a great storm in the distance, though it passed quickly. Now all I feel is pain, and fire ripping through my guts. We move carefully from here on out. Our prey is near. In orbit around Gor's world, star sharks feed on the flesh of dead gods, cast into the void over the centuries. Best fetch your hammer, boy. I sense something stirring. Something close. Something strangely familiar. Take heed, he's got a... What just happened? You were struck in the face with a shark. That's what I thought. What manner of foul beast has Gore conjured for us this time? The foulest, I'm afraid. Is that? Yes. Lucky me, another one. Who are you grizzled old bastards? And what is your business here? If you be slave traders, you will answer this day to... Father? Is that you? Oh, balls bones, are you certain there isn't any ale left? You sure you're up for this? You just escaped from Gore's slave world. And now you're about to go marching right back in. If you two old farts are up for it, then I guess that means I am as well, doesn't it? Blasted time travel. Whoever knew there was such a thing? Then arm yourself, boy, and be quick about it. I'll be topside. Don't dawdle. I know how you love to dawdle. Is that the world you just blasted yourself off of, young Thor? Aye, that's it. And the great bomb you said you destroyed. The god bomb. It would have been right. By all the pits of hell. It's untouched. I didn't so much as scratch the damn thing. Then let's hope you're a better slayer of god butchers than you are a dismantler of bombs. Gore! Come down from your castle, you bloodless bastard! The gods of thunder have come! And we would have words with thee! Nay, the time for words has passed. Now, we let the hammers talk.
Coming out of nowhere, dropping like rain, storm bring a dance on the thunder again. Dark cloud gathering, breaking the day. No one running 'cause it's coming your way. Ride the rainbow, rock the sky. Storm bring a coming, top the
The far future. The black world of Gore.
Gore? Watching me sleep again? Come to bed, dear, and I promise you a better view.
Soon. I'm sorry I woke you.
Is everything all right? I heard an explosion earlier and what sounded like thunder.
Gods being gods. Nothing to worry about. Everything progresses as planned.
Your bomb. It's almost finished then?
Almost. Yes.
And once it is, once you've finally killed all the gods, you'll be free then, won't you?
We all will.
I have dreamed of that day for such a very long time, my love. But tell me, why do we never speak of what comes after?
After... You know what comes after.
I'd like to hear you say it.
After the bomb, I will finally be ready to...
To what, my love? And please don't say die.
No. To live.
Gore, is that...
Go back to sleep, my love. And know that when you next wake, it will be to a world transformed.
We should have a plan. Follow my lead, the both of you, and try not to get us killed. That's our plan. Hit him with hammers until he breaks. That's my plan. Everything below us, the entire planet, it all appears to be made from Gore's weapon. We should keep the fight in the air for as long as possible. You forget, the boy has no Mjolnir. He cannot fly. Do not worry about me, old man. I'm the only Thor here who has already beaten this bastard twice. You're also the only Thor who's been captured by him twice. We can't afford to be rash and reckless here. We must...
You should have brought more Thors.
Bah! You sour old crones have forgotten what it means to be a god of the Vikings! Here, let me show you! And you idiot children have yet to learn what it means to be a king, let alone a failed one. For the glory of Asgard! Mjolnir, old friend, give me strength. Then struck Thor, with the fury of 1 billion storms. The sky exploded with lightning and black storm. Thunder echoed through the depths of space. Thunder and the pounding of hammers.
Thank you for this, Thunder Gods. It would have been such a shame to have ended all of divinity without one last chance to be a butcher.
A cask of the finest ale to the god who stills that tongue. I have waited 900 years for this moment, to feel the thunder in my blood once again. And do you? Let us see.
Moments later, light years away.
Such was the awesome might of an All-Father unleashed, that for the first time in millennia, the Butcher of Gods knew fear. It would appear Gore is throwing chunks of moon at us. My Mjolnir finds that amusing. How about yours? Can't you hear it laughing?
Massacre gods.
The true history of Gor's weapon had been lost to time, though there were many different stories and legends. Some said it was a blade forged by the Elder Gods and used in the time of creation to carve existence from the unbreakable stone of nothingness. Others said it was the darkness in all gods given form, and that whoever wielded it was merely an empty vessel for its murderous will. There were stories that it had slain billions upon billions even before Gor, that it had raged through worlds like a wildfire through dry stalks, that its power would continue to grow for all time until the day it finally blackened all of infinity. Perhaps on that day, they will tell stories of this one. Of the day Gor's black world became ringed with blood, and the screaming of gods filled the cosmos entire. The day the lords of all the heavens were slaughtered like lambs. I hear screaming from worlds away. Gods are dying. Gor is killing his slaves. He knows he's in trouble, and the god blood fuels his power. I will show the bastard blood. Let me...
I feel them drowning. Feel the blackness flooding them. No Thor will survive this day.
No Gor will either. Ha! Faster, you stupid shark! No more chains! No more of your black berserkers! Just you and me now, Gor! And the hammer I'm going to kill you with! I tell you to pray to your gods, but I know you don't have any. Though you may pray to me if you like. Though if you pray for a quick death, don't expect your prayer to be answered. Serpents! Always another damned serpent! We must be free of this mire. Gor must answer to the fury of our hammers. Am I not the All-Father boy? Am I not the way, and the wrath, and the wonder? Ah! Go! Leave the Lord of Asgard to deal with this worm! As Mjolnir flew, Thor strained to hold fast. Asteroids shattered in his wake. Stars flickered. He knew he must not stop no matter what he saw. Even if they were wounded. Even if they were him.
Come. I'll never get tired of killing Thors.
With every swing of his mighty hammer, Thor felt his bones rattle, his fingers crack, his muscles tear. And yet he swung again, even harder than before. And again. And again. With every cut, he felt Gor's weapon creep inside him, burrowing deeper into his flesh. Broken blades became black maggots, eating him from the inside. But Thor made his mind as hard as the uru of his hammer, and he thundered on. Thor ignored the pain, the roar of his own screams, the shattering of worlds around him. Thor focused only on bludgeoning, and ignored everything else. No, that's no empty moon. Thus did the Norse god of thunder come to be worshipped on a scarred world in a distant corner of space.
At last, I understand you, little god. The old you, the king, he's always been fueled by regret. He thinks if he kills me, he can erase his own history of wretched failure. And the young one, the Viking god, he uses arrogance and rage to mask his crippling shame. But you I could never quite figure out until now. You know I'm right. That's why you fight so hard. Why you try so desperately hard to seem noble. Because you see just how petty and useless your kind truly are. You know what I know. That gods have never created or cared for anything except themselves. The god who doubts. I changed my mind. You're my favorite Thor.
In the great black emptiness of space, the mighty Thor reached out his hammer, and at last the black Leviathan fell. And Thor looked upon his work, and knew it was just the beginning. Thor the Father, the Lord of Asgard. Thor, the King of Kings. Young Thor had a hammer in his hand, and a Viking cry of battle upon his lips. Beneath the rage, he was smiling. Thor, the son of Odin, the Prince of Asgard. Thor, the bloody Redeemer. Thor, the Avenger, fought with the spirit of a multitude. Thor, the holy hero, champion of the cosmos. Thor, the hammer of heaven. The three Thors, the greatest of all the gods. Or so the story goes. You mean to tell me that someday I will be able to do that after them, into the sun? Somewhere in the cosmos, star whales beached themselves on an asteroid and died. Hundreds of them, for seemingly no reason at all. A dog was born with the face of a child, screaming in terror. It did not live for long. A saintly woman died, and found no one waiting for her on the other side. No white light to guide her. Nothing. The sacred waters of the Well of Mimir turned red and bitter. The World Tree bled at the roots. In Asgard, the statues of the kings began weeping. And on a backwoods world, an alien boy looked up at the morning sky and saw the sun turn black. On the world of Gore, thunder is heard. And then, it began to rain. It rained blood. God blood. Then, it rained hammers. And Thors. And despair.
Make ready the bomb!
All thunder fell silent across the skies of creation, as King Thor was nailed to a comet and sent roaring through space. of the slaughtered god slaves, the ground opened up like a great black maw, and Thor the Avenger fell. Mjolnirs lay encased in a cage of god flesh, unable to fly to their master's hands. And young Thor found himself too spent to even muster a curse. As the countdown began.
Gore! Please tell me you're unharmed, my love. I saw those gods attack you, and then there were great lights in the sky, and the world itself trembled, and all the slaves were screaming, and...
Go back inside. It will all be over soon.
It's time, then? At last? For the bomb?
Yes. Time for the god bomb.
I have waited for this day, for those words, for so many years, my love. I never doubted that you would see us through, that your strength and devotion would save not only our family, but all of the families of man. You have suffered so much, my love, I know. You have endured horrors beyond imagining for so very long. Yet never have you wavered in your calling. Never have you lost faith in what is just and right. And never have I lost faith in you. You are the only being I have ever known who is worthy of worship. You are the brightest star in all the heavens. You, Gore, my lover, my savior. You are my God.
What did you say?
I said, dear, that you, my sweet, loving Gore, are my...
I am no one's god.
Father, is it true? Is it time to trigger the bomb?
It is indeed.
Where's Mother? She said she was coming to meet me. She should be here to see this.
Look for her in the towers, boy. But don't expect me to wait. I have too many gods to kill.
Yes, Father. And of course we must make sure we kill them all. If I could just reach one of those damn hammers! And exactly what good would that do, Frigg? What makes you think you'd fare any better against Gore than all those Thors did? Better to die with a hammer in my hand, Ellie, than stuck to this damn web like some helpless fly. You should both save your energy. Save our energy! Gore's world runs red with rivers of blood. Thousands of gods lie slaughtered. 3 Thors have fallen, and any moment now a god bomb will explode and wipe us out of existence. For what exactly should I be saving my energy, dear Sister Otley? For biting off your tongue and swallowing it. Better to choke myself to death than give that bastard Gore the satisfaction of killing me. I'd rather reach a damn hammer. We'd all rather reach a hammer, Frigg. But what good is a hammer anyway? Against a bomb.
Look at it. Beautiful, isn't it? It was designed by a god named Shadrach of the Diamond Moons of Agoro, the god of bombs and fireballs. He enjoyed casting them into space so he and his friends could watch the stars explode. After just one afternoon of watching his friends explode, he begged me to let him build this. It took 900 years and an army of god slaves to bring Shadrach's designs to life. It was built around the heart of an elder god and infused with the chronomancy of the Time Lords of Kronox. And once I trigger it, with this, it will explode through time, killing every god who ever lived or ever will. Amen. drops in the pool of forevers. Yes, I believe that's all we'll need. Lead for me now, God of Thunder. Lead for my blessed balm. Whoa, no. We'll need more blood than that.
Meanwhile, miles below.
You'll never make it in time. Gore is triggering the bomb as we speak. You'll be dead before you ever reach the surface. You and every god you've ever known.
Run away, boy. Whatever happens next, this is no place for the likes of you.
I cannot leave. I am what my father has made me. But the question now is, what is my father?
Weapons. There are weapons in the rock. Must be the weapons of the gods Gore's enslaved.
He was a good man once, my father. A simple man. A family man. A loving man who suffered unfairly. But I wonder what would that man say if he could see what he's become in the eons hence.
Boy, leave now. Take whatever family you have and...
My mother is dead. She always dreamed about life after the bomb. About a world without gods for my father to butcher. About us free to be a family. But there was never going to be a life for us after the bomb. I always knew that. Even before my father killed her. Just as he killed the man he once was. Gore is dead. And in his place now stands something I've been raised all my life to despise. I don't know how to pray, but I will pray to you, God of Thunder. I'll pray that you kill my father.
This must be it. I love you with all my heart, my sisters. May we meet again in Valhalla. Kiss my Asgardian ass! Gore, you son of a... What the... We're not dead. Biting your tongue hurts like hell. Look, weapons! Arm yourselves. This day we're slaves no more. Today we die like gods. Stupid hammer must be broken. Won't budge. Hey!
With your heart, Thor of Asgard, I will baptize this holy machine.
If you wanted that badly, I'll gladly trade you my heart. For your eye!
The last pathetic whimper of the gods. You're too late. You're all too damn late.
That's when I down. Now, to take a rest. Jarnbjorn.
Hey, get your own axe.
Sorry, girl. But this axe and I have unfinished business.
What kind of Thor doesn't have his own hammer?
The kind who can do this.
Now those are Thors.
Cut them down! Right till the end! Fight to the very last god!
Rage at your dimming all, you light ye godlings. At last begins the era of man.
The bomb is coming to life! Get to the bomb!
Too late, Thors. Behold your doom.
He's triggered the bomb! What do we do? How do we stop it? You're Thor! You hit it with hammers! Aye, that I can do. The God Bomb seethed with power. The roaring of the Mjolnirs shook the stars. Thor fought to choke down fear, but it bubbled up like bile. And Gor's words burrowed deep into his marrow. What if they really are better off without us? Thor wondered and feared, even as he swung his hammers. What if a godless age is what they deserve? What if Gorr isn't a madman after all? Gods help us. What if he's...
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw and beheld a white horse.
Now, omnipotent city, nexus of all the gods.
How much time do we have? You don't understand. There's no time. The bomb runs on time. It runs through time. It will kill us all, no matter when we are.
How will we know when it's happening?
With any luck, we won't.
Tell me, Shadrach, are you capable of saying anything that doesn't make me want to thrash you? Open the doors! The Lord Librarian demands an audience with the Parliament of Pantheons. We have a bomb threat!
The bomb will ripple backward through time, exploding through every second. Gor's black weapon will kill us all. Every last god. All it... I didn't think it would hurt so much.
The far future. The work of the God Bomb.
Second of your life, all at once. You and trillions more, just like you. I do hope it hurts.
Inside the heart of the God Bomb, time became tar. Eternity echoed with wailing and the gnashing of teeth, with the dying of the gods. If he'd been a lesser god, Thor might have accepted that Gorr had won. And more so, that Gorr deserved to win. That gods were cruel and jealous creatures. That it was time for their age to pass. But this was no lesser god. This was the god of roaring thunder and raging storms. And even if he had been the last god left alive in all the universe, he still would have been god enough.
What? What is he doing?
Dying! Like a god! All through time, gods were dying. every god who had ever been born, or ever would be. There was no fatal battle for them to fight. No enemies standing over them. No warning even. They merely felt their knees, choking on blackness, their flesh falling apart before their eyes. Some knew why it was happening. Most did not. But in their final cloudy moments, they all shared a common vision. A vision of one god with a mighty hammer in each hand, fighting at the heart of a bomb to save them all. And for one moment that stretched across time, every god in the universe closed their eyes and prayed to Thor.
He's absorbing it. He's taking the blast into himself. That's not possible.
Then let us watch the impossible together.
Present day, the wild space where Asgard once dwelled.
Thor, hear my prayer.
Where a father prays to his son.
Hear the prayer of Odin. Do not fall, my son. He the savior of us all. Be the god of gods.
Holy hell! It just stopped! I can't believe it! We're alive!
Yes, but so is he.
No, you should all be dead. Black Berserkers, kill them. Where are my Black Berserkers? Where are my towers? Where's my weapon?
It's not your weapon anymore. It laughs at you, Gore. Its name is All Black, the Necrosword, the Slicer of Worlds, the Annihilar Blade, and it was meant to be wielded by a god. But you were right about one thing.
No, give it back.
It was also meant to kill them.
Damn you all. Damn all the gods. You don't deserve this victory. And you know it. All you've ever brought this universe is misery. Gods don't create mankind. But someday, if they're not stopped, they will end it. Mark my words.
Was it a god who killed my mother?
My son.
Or was it you? Or are the two one and the same now, Father? Behold Gore, god of hypocrisy!
Son, please no. I can't lose you too. They did this. You have to see that. It's the gods who've ruined creation. We'll all be better off without them.
You can't blame gods anymore, Gore. It wasn't a god who betrayed you. It was only ever yourself.
No, please. Please don't leave me alone.
The boy just melted into a stone dagger. Is this Gore's work? There never was a boy. There was only ever the weapon, and the things Gore made from it. But it was the son who helped us defeat the father. No. It was only the lonely little man. who helped you defeat the Butcher. I'd had about enough of that. Thus endeth the tale of the God Butcher. Shall we drink mead and think of ways to defile his ashes? The weapon is still inside you. Hurry, you must purge yourself. Too late. Just make certain that you prove him wrong. Thus died Thor. For the 9th time that could be remembered. 3 days later, he rose again.
Asgard of the far future, seat of King Thor.
Father, I had the strangest dream. There were 3 of me. It appears dying hasn't made him any smarter, has it? No, but I bet it's made him thirsty. Did you know there's a whole hidden room filled with ale? Or at least there used to be. What's happened? The God Butcher, dead, turned to ash. And his weapon, the Necro Sword, left it where it fell. We dared not touch it. I would have touched it. But His Majesty here threw the entire planet into a black hole. And then he brought you back from the dead. The Thor Force. I burned out the last of Gorr's sickness inside you. I figured it was in my best interest. Would you like to see that for which you died? Asgard is alive again. With gods from all over the cosmos. The survivors of Gorr's mines. Yes. Many have already returned to their homeworlds, but some had been slaves for so long they could no longer remember from whence they came. So they will have a home here if they wish it. Or I will find them new worlds, where gods are needed. Worlds where gods are needed. I still can't believe I grow up to be All-Father. But by the looks of this ragged place, I do a fairly terrible job of it. You will prove yourself terrible at a great many things in the years to come, boy. You'll fail. You'll watch your loved ones die. And worst of all, you'll never come anywhere close to the one thing you've always wanted most. Yes, I will. I see you two carrying those hammers around. That means... I'm not talking about the hammer. You'll never be the son he wants you to be. No. Apparently, I grow up to be every bit the troll's ass my father is. I believe I've had enough of this wretched future. The ale here is old and bitter anyway. Just like the Thors. You are unnecessarily harsh to the boy. Perhaps I wasn't speaking to the boy. I owe you a great debt, Thor of the Avengers, for reminding me what it means to command the thunder. But I still cannot look at you without a pain in my gullet, without seeing the eons of struggle and failure that lie between us. Be a better Thor than I was. And kill your bastard brother, first chance you get. And you, go be a king again, old man. And live to prove Gorr wrong. But what if he wasn't wrong? Then, we have even more work to do. Speaking of which, I think I know a world that could use some new gods. And so old King Thor, with his All-Father magic, sent the other Thors back to their own times.
Thor! Lord Thor has returned to us at last!
Yes, but I cannot stay long.
We've just brewed a fresh barrel of mead, my lord.
Perhaps I could stay for a moment. They knew that given the nature of the time travel involved, their memories of recent events would soon begin to fade. There were some memories they looked forward to forgetting. And others they hoped to cling to forever. The Thors would not remember having met themselves, and chances were they would never meet again in such a way. Instead, they returned to their own separate worlds and lives. Their own ambitions, their own fears, their own callings. And also, their one common destiny. To be the greatest god who ever lived. In the end, they would remember only that gods had fought and died. That some victories were won, while others remained elusive. You moved! I know you moved! I felt it! That a king was restored to his throne, and that a prayer was finally answered.
Thor?
Little girl of Indegard, I said I would return to you, and I have. You prayed to me because your world had no gods. That is one prayer, I assure you. You need never pray again. Thus did a world without gods become a world with very many. All thanks to a little girl's prayer and a madman's murder spree. And of course, to a god of thunder and his mighty hammer. A god whose story may have been as old as time, but whose adventures and perils had only just begun.